What's up, everybody? Welcome to Big Stupid Popcorn. I am your host, Dickie Wabash, joined as always by the one-legged wonder, Michael Madrox, and it has been probably a year and a half since Big Stupid Popcorn has been a thing.
Has it been that long?
It's Christmas of 23, I think, is the last time. Yeah, it's been so long that we have reinvented the show, and the show is something completely different now. Originally, Big Stupid Popcorn was a commentary show where we would watch a movie, we would give our commentary on it, but now we have reworked it. Big Stupid Popcorn is now a movie review podcast exclusively to you guys here on the $10 tier.
With video, baby.
With video. Here's the deal. We are going to upload two different versions of this. There is going to be video and audio, so that if you just want to kind of listen to this while you're driving and you don't want to worry about, streaming the video, all of that, you are going to have the audio format as well as the video format. If you want to, I am getting a potential spam phone call right now, so I am going to ignore that. Yeah, so you're going to have two ways that you can watch this, both exclusively on the $10 tier, where you can either watch the video or you can listen to the audio. Or, you know what, maybe you put on the video and just listen to the video. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it easy for everyone here. Now, we are starting off with something that I am very, very excited about. This has been one that has been building for a little bit. Not too long ago, old Dickie Wabash made a trip to the Walmart.
Yep.
And at the Walmart, he discovered a 5-film collection on DVD for $10. That's $2 a movie. It was the Scorpion King. It was the Scorpion King. I've never seen the other 4 movies, but what I have seen is the Scorpion King, and it's a movie that I hold very near and dear to my heart. And ironically, it stars a professional wrestler. Almost as if what Big Stupid Popcorn is going to be is that we are watching movies involving wrestlers. Now, that is not to say that we are always going to do movies that quote unquote star wrestlers. Maybe they have a guest appearance, maybe whatever. But essentially, that's what this is going to be. We're starting with just wrestler movies. Here's the key thing, though, that many people need to remember. This is not going to be movies about wrestling.
No.
This is movies starring wrestlers. There's a very big difference. That doesn't mean that we're going to watch The Wrestler. That doesn't mean that we are going to watch, I can't think of another example, but we are going to see the acting chops of our favorite professional wrestlers. And who better to start with than old Rock the Dwayne Johnson? No one better. There's no one better. He arguably has had the most successful transition into becoming an actor of all professional wrestlers. So I say that we start with the Scorpion King. Now, you're probably wondering to yourself, what's the format of this show going to be? Well, let me spell it out for you, because this is the first episode. We're figuring it out as we go along, essentially. We have a bit of an idea. We have a bit of a rough draft. I, of course, am the keeper of the plot. I will be going through the plot of the movie. Michael Madrox will be providing color commentary. I will also be providing various thoughts. And at the end of the plot, we will give a final review of the movie. We will then rank the hero of the movie, and we will rank the movie. Granted, with this being the first episode, that means that there's really nothing to rank it against. So basically, we're going to give it a ranking on the MadBash scale of 5, and then we will look at the other movies that we've watched. This is for down the road. We will look at the other movies that we've watched and make a definitive list of these movies that will be able to be accessed on our
That's the worst,
Patreon. Best to worst, man. Best to worst. You know what I mean? So, what do you say we get into it with this new iteration of Big Stupid Popcorn as we watched The Scorpion King starring Dwayne Johnson? A couple of facts.
Let me get this started first.
Okay.
Brother. We watched this on DVD.
We did.
Why in the hell during the main menu was Hardcore Holly's theme music playing?
You know, that's a very good question to ask. I genuinely do not know. I don't think that we ever will have an answer to that one.
It does not fit at all.
If you remember, that same song was once used on Spike TV. It was like a transition theme for all of it. So before we get too far into it, that is the first major thing that I think that needs to be brought up here is that, yeah, you turn on the DVD and it is absolutely
Bob Holly.
It is absolutely Bob Holly's theme. Here we go. We got some facts about the Scorpion King. This, of course, is a spinoff of the Mummy franchise. You know, the Scorpion King was a character named Matthias. And he is in the Scorpion King, the Mummy 2. He's the big bad of the whole thing. They're all trying to get the army of Anubis. They're all going to try to kill him, which maybe we might venture down Mummy territory later. Not opposed to that. So basically, this was The Rock's first movie that he was in. The Mummy Returns. Well, yeah, the Mummy Returns was his first movie. And then this was his first solo movie, and it was, of course, a spinoff. This, I believe, was filmed when he left during the invasion ? I gotta say, because if this movie came out in 2002, then he would have left during that time. So yeah, that absolutely had to be what it was. He was probably off filming this while he was
because he came back when the hurricane was the hurricane.
Yep.
Towards the end of the invasion.
Yeah. So, yes, in fact, The Scorpion King was his first lead role. His first movie, though, was, of course, The Mummy Returns, where he had the terrible CGI we all know and love to talk about. Here's some production on this movie. It began as, again, a spinoff. Recognizing the character's popularity, Universal Pictures decided to develop an origin story set in a distinct historical era, aiming to expand the Mummy franchise. The film marked Johnson's first lead role in a feature film where he would reprise the titular character from The Mummy Returns. Dwayne Johnson was paid $5.5 million to be in this movie, setting a record for the highest salary for a first-time actor. I don't know if that is still the record, but that's a lot of money.
And you look back at this movie, like, he didn't have a lot of voice roles.
No, and it was all very simple stuff. But I mean, if you, it was very action forward is what this movie was. And I frankly expect nothing less from The Rock being on this. So the budget was $60 million to make it, and it grossed $12.5 million. So that's
it was a failure.
That's just its opening day, but its opening weekend total, it was $36 million. Total, the film closed with a total of $91 million, with an additional $87 million internationally, a total net gross of $178 million with a budget of $60 million.
So it was not a failure.
You're looking at roughly $110 million return, making it a moderate box office success, according to the Wikipedia here. The Scorpion King holds a 40% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 135 reviews, with an average rating of 4.9 out of 10. So that would leave it, if you're doing it out of 5, that would be like roughly like 2 point something out of 10. If you were to change that. Metacritic, it's sitting at 45 out of 100. Roger Ebert gave it 3 out of 4 stars. Not bad. The film was nominated for Best Fantasy Film at the Saturn Awards, but lost to Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. So yeah, there's oh, here we go. Also, the soundtrack was released on March 26th, 2002, featuring I Stand Alone, Godsmack. Also featuring, Streamlined by System of a Down was on this soundtrack. That's weird. Here's what I don't get.
Yeah.
What is a movie soundtrack necessarily? Because Streamlined by System of a Down, or, To Whom It May Concern by Creed, these 14 songs were not actually used in this movie. So what determines a soundtrack?
See, like, to me, a soundtrack is like music actually used in the movie.
Yes, agreed. And
or like the musical score for the movie.
Yeah, I agree. And like the only one that I know of, unless we just, we didn't obviously get too far into the credits on this. The only one is I Stand Alone by Godsmack is in the end credits. And then maybe who knows? Maybe
the instrumentals for those other songs were used for like clips.
Maybe Losing My Grip by Hoobastank was used later on. I don't know. But when I think of the Scorpion King, I don't think of Hoobastank. Just throwing that out there.
Maybe we should go watch those music videos for those songs to see if they have any Scorpion King tie-ins to it.
I don't think Streamline does, because I'm a huge System of a Down fan, so I would know if it did.
You know how they all did that in the 90s and early 2000s?
Oh, yeah. And it was always like repurposed footage. Like
Yes.
you could tell, like, so there's that famous scene, and we'll get into it when we get into the plot, of where The Rock is like taking off the mask after the
Sandstorm.
the sandstorm fight. Like I could just picture like terribly photoshopped in Sully from Godsmack. Stand alone. Meanwhile, The Rock is doing the whole face peel thing. So, all right, brother, let's give some thoughts on this movie. This movie, of course, came out. It debuted. Coming up, actually. This is ironic. It came out on my grandma's birthday, April 19th, 2002. Give us you open with it here, Madrox. Did you see this in theaters? If not, when did you first see it? What were your early thoughts on this movie? And when was the last time you watched it before you watched it for this?
Did not see it in theaters. I was waiting for it to come out at Couch Potato Video before I rented it. That's
Couch Potato Video. Listen, here's the thing. You guys watching this, there is going to be such a reference to Couch Potato Video because it was our hometown video store.
Yep. I don't remember much watching it the first time, but I know I only watched it once when I was younger. And this rewatch made me realize how bad of a movie it really is.
Oh, burying the lead there a little bit, brother. Here's the thing. I didn't rent this movie. I owned it. My dad was very big on like buying movies. So like if a movie, I mean, obviously we would rent movies. Don't think that we wouldn't. But I remember being really big into The Mummy. And when I was a kid, I was obsessed with DVD bonus features. I don't know why. I was.
They used to be awesome.
They did. And that brings me to my next point about how like you don't really see them a lot anymore. And that breaks my heart. Because there were some really good bonus features on this DVD, not the repurposed DVD that I bought, which I think I still have my original Scorpion King DVD. But I remember I did not see this in theaters. I remember getting it and I watched it so much as a kid. Here's the point that I wanted to bring up real quick here too. The DVD and VHS was released on October 1st, 2002. Then it was released on Blu-ray in 2008, and then it was released in 4K on in 2019. There were also tie-in video games for this, by the way. I love a good movie tie-in. Love a good movie tie-in video game, brother. But yeah, I remember I watched this movie a lot as a kid. Like, and I don't even necessarily know if I enjoyed it or it was just the idea of like, yeah, like this is awesome. And I loved it. I loved this movie as a kid. Like I absolutely watched the absolute shit.
Speaking of tie-ins,
Yes.
Jack's Pacific, The Rock and the Scorpion King 2-pack figure set. The worst action figure I've ever owned in my life.
You've brought that up on a few pieces of content
Yes.
before, actually. Now that I know, now that I think about
The
that.
worst articulation, the worst standing features, like the worst all around everything.
I don't think I had it.
It was a Kmart exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. Kmart or Toys R Us.
I would guess probably Kmart. Kmart was the one that had a lot of really weird exclusives. So, well, all right, brother. Are we ready to get into the plot of the movie?
Let's do it, brother.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. The movie opens in here's a fun little game that we're going to play as we do this movie, because the majority of these movies are action movies. So there's going to be action movie tropes that we are going to see. So just keep that in mind. And we will point out action movie tropes. The movie starts out on a snowy mountaintop, and there's this one-eyed guy, and he's standing guard, and there's all these huts around him. And then all of a sudden, bop, something comes and hits him in the face, hits the other eye. In theory, kills him, one would think. We then cut to inside one of the huts, and there's a big feast going on. There's two guys tied up. They don't know what's going on. Kurt Angle's pissed off at the way that these two guys are tied up. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
this guy's given this rousing speech. He's like, we have killed Mesopotamians. Yeah. We have killed Babylonians. Yeah. And he's like running down all these different like Middle Eastern cultures that they've all killed. And he's listing like a ton of them. And the crowd is just going ape shit every time he's doing it. Meanwhile, we see the inner splice of this warrior climbing up a mountain. Oh, and then it cuts back to the guy. Then it cuts back to him climbing. Then it cuts to the guy. Then it cuts back to him climbing. And he says, but we have never had the pleasure of killing an Akkadian. Now, Akkadians are not real. They were made up for this movie. At that time, there was a huge distraction. There's this big plume of smoke, and everyone's like, oh, fuck, what's going on here? About that time, arrows come flying out of the smoke, and they hit people, and they fucking send them flying back, dude. Like, I'm talking to motherfucker. He shoots this guy with the bow, and he flies back fucking literally
45 feet. Dolph Ziggler sells
45 feet out of the roof of this hut, and people are just like, huh? Whenever they see him go by. Mind you, The Rock does not have superpowers yet. The Scorpion King that we have seen, at this point, we have only seen him in The Mummy Returns, where he's literally a half scorpion crab man. And then now we get the obligatory opening fight scene. The Rock is just fucking shit up, beating everybody up. Oh my God, he's killing everyone. Then he, the one guy grabs two battle axes and comes at him, and he's like, oh God, the chandelier falls down. You think the chandelier is going to crush him, but the chandelier lands perfectly like a fucking Charlie Chaplin gimmick. Lands fucking like this motherfucker is Buster Keaton, just falls right down on him. And he's just like, oh, it happened. Then he steps over it. Rock lets go of the chandelier, sends up into the sky. Oh, big explosion of fire. Oh, this guy's dead. Then the Rock looks to one of the hostages and says, you're lucky we have the same mother. And then the chandelier falls down. It's a big fire. And now it's time for the opening exposition of the movie, just so that, God forbid that we actually take a moment to let the plot develop. It's like, no, let's just spell it all out for you. Let's just spell it all out for you right now. We've got 92 minutes to fill. We don't have much downtime here. You know what I mean?
You know what my favorite part about this whole sequence was?
I want to know everything. Everything.
The fucking color filters for the weather. Snowy Mountain, everything was blue. The hot flames, everything was red.
I'm going to tell you right now, the filters, the LUTs that were on this movie are ridiculous. There's literally a part later in the movie where they're trying to make it look like nighttime, so they put a nighttime filter on it. Like, it's so bad. Like, they are trying to color pop the shit out of this. It's crazy. So then we get a quick
like
video.
Rob Zombie acid trip video.
Basically, I had to look and see if Rob Zombie was involved with this, as a matter of fact. So then we get a quick video basically explaining the plot of the movie, because, again, why would we let it play out? Memnon, he is a warrior king, and he basically just runs through everyone. He is conquering all these different kingdoms and taking all of them down, and he uses a sorcerer to tell him the outcome of all of his battles. So basically, it's going to be like, look, motherfucker, my sorcerer is telling me I'm not going to win this battle, so I'm not going to go do it, which I think is flawed, because if you already know the outcome, then you're more than likely to fuck it up, and then it's not going to happen. It goes back to fucking Endgame, where Doctor Strange is like, look, if I tell you that this is what's going on, then it's not going to happen, so we can't do it.
Yeah.
There's then a group after our spoon-fed of the plot video. There's a group of tribes that are all together, and they're all like warring. And then there's this old grizzled motherfucker sitting back in his chair, and he's like, silence! And then his son steps up, and he's like, my father says, hold your tongues.
Hold your tongue should make a comeback, though.
Hold your tongue. I agree with you on that one, actually. Then here comes Michael Clark Duncan, who is playing the character Balthazar. He is here, and he is just here to be a badass. He says that he doesn't want to even attempt to take down Memnon, because it'll just end in no good. And everyone's like, look, if we don't do this, shit's fucked, guys. Like, we're going to lose everything, man. Memnon has to be stopped. We're all dead. We're all dead. You know what I mean? So then about that time, 3 figures emerge from the shadows, and I was expecting, we are the nation of domination. Here comes The Rock.
D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry.
Yeah, it was The Rock, D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry. No, it's actually The Rock, and he is here with his brother and some other guy that does not get a single line in this entire movie.
No.
So they just naturally, everyone at this fucking thing knows that, hey, these are Acadians. And they're like, they are the last of the kind. So there's only 3 Acadians left. 2 of them are brothers. 1 is this other guy. So the Acadians are Dunsky, basically. They're hired assassins. They're basically...
They're blood money.
It's blood money. Rubies, man. They're going to hire them to kill not Memnon, but the sorcerer. Now, here's where I have a major problem. Wouldn't the sorcerer know that there's people coming after him?
That's what you would think so.
I'm just saying. That's how you know that psychics are fake, because someone has never come out and said, look, I was a psychic and I won the lottery. So just throwing that out there.
I'm just throwing it out there. I've asked the psychic multiple times. My brother's going to beat cancer way after he's passed. And every time I get told yes.
There you go. That's all I'm saying, is that these psychics know how to prey on things, man. They know how to prey on things. Basically, they've been selected to kill the sorcerer. Michael Clark Duncan is not happy about this. And The Rock says him will kill for free. So we're setting up some tension between Michael Clark Duncan and The Rock. All the tribes agree to fight, that if The Rock and his Acadians can kill the sorcerer. They're like, look, if we know we have a chance, then we can have a chance, which I think, again, makes no sense, because obviously Memnon is not going to go into a fight if he doesn't know the outcome. So then it's like, why not just attack him? Like, if he doesn't know that an attack is coming, how is he going to be able to ask his sorcerer, hey, am I going to win this battle?
Yeah.
But it's all really... because Memnon is fucking skilled. We established that later in the movie as well, that Memnon is skilled, and we know, yeah, he's pretty much a badass, and he does this like this really cool shit with swords. We'll get into it later. So they all leave, and The Rock is riding a camel, because of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? The 3 all get to the camp. This is Memnon's war camp, and they're all getting ready to break in there, and they're like, all right, here's our plan, man. This is what we're going to do. And then live free.
Die well.
My brother. That is the greeting and the see
The
you later
Acadians.
of the Acadians. They are the last of the kind. I remember that from the trailer of this movie because they just casually, they are the last of their kind. Basically, they are about to kill a prisoner inside of the camp, and this guy is my favorite character.
The horse thief.
Yeah, the horse thief. Hello. By the way, I want to see if he actually has a name because
They don't give him one in the damn movie.
they never do. They never actually come out and say like
90% of the cast in this movie doesn't get a name.
Yeah, I mean they do in theory. I mean, it's like I don't know who this guy is though. Like who
My favorite part, though, right now is what we're like almost 30 minutes deep into this movie, correct?
Yeah, not even into the movie. We're probably only 10 minutes.
Well, The Rock had said what 3 lines this whole movie.
Yeah, basically, he's not talked very much. He has not talked very much at all. They're about to kill a prisoner, but The Rock comes in. He zip lines in on his camel, not riding his camel, zip lining. He attaches the zip line to the camel and then shoots in. The Rock basically saves the prisoner's life. The guy will not stop talking. Rock punches him in the face. Boom. There we go. The three of them meet back up. They are about to get ambushed. The Rock says, nah. They drop back. One of them gets killed. The guy that we never know who he is. And
out of nowhere too. Like didn't even put up a fight.
Yeah, basically. So you're like, wait a minute. What? How did they know about this? We're going to get to that in a minute. The Rock escapes, but his brother and the other one, they're dead. They're Dunsky.
They cut The Rock's brother's throat right in front of him.
Yeah. Not yet. But The Rock, he knows the mission. He knows that we have to complete the mission. So he finds the tent. He goes in. I got to kill the sorcerer. Oh, plot twist. Not a sorcerer, a sorceress. It's a female sorcerer. The Rock hesitates, and then she says he calls him by his name and says, you have been betrayed, Matthias. And he's like, huh? The Rock gets overwhelmed by all these guards that come in. Memnon confronts him. As The Rock is being held down, he realizes that he has in fact been betrayed by the guy at the very beginning, his son that told everyone to hold their tongues. Yeah, he betrayed him. He went and told him
out for a spot in the army.
Sold him out, brother. Sold them out quicker than shit. Went and told him, he's like, look, you're about to get attacked by these Acadians, my guy. Put me in your army. And he's like, hey, cool, whatever. So,
Hogan that shit.
100%. This movie is also just moving at a breakneck pace. Like we're 10, 12 minutes into this movie, if that, and there has already been just so much shit thrown at you. First of all, they throw the entire plot at you right at the very beginning of the movie. Then you have a plot twist. Then you have another plot twist. Then, oh my God, this guy's dead.
The betrayal.
And then there's a betrayal, and brother, they just are throwing it all over the place. But I expect nothing less from a movie like this. This is a good popcorn movie, which is funny because big stupid popcorn. Ha ha ha.
TikTok movies, we call them.
Yeah, we do call them TikTok movies, don't we? Yeah. Memnon is about to kill Dwayne, but the sorceress says no. The gods foretell that he will not die by Memnon's hand or by the hand of anyone that you command.
Ordered by, yes.
Or ordered, yeah. So Memnon is like, well, how do I do this? But then you're also thinking, wait a minute, why is the sorceress wanting to save the Rock? What's going on here? What could possibly be going on?
Another plot hole in the whole fucking movie, though.
Give me a plot hole, brother. I love them.
You can't order anyone to kill him. Can't die by their hand, but they still set him up for death.
I think that what he means is that I can't look at you, say kill him, and then you stab him. So he's like, okay, so then how do I kill him if I can't have someone command someone to kill him and I can't do it by my own hand? So basically he punches the Rock in the face. I'm dead. Wakes up,
baby.
Wakes up. He is buried up to his neck in sand. Next to him is the horse thief. And they're like, oh my God, what's going on here? They're about to be eaten by fire ants. So somehow the prisoner breaks out of his hole, and he takes out all the guards, but here come all the fire ants. And The Rock is like, hey, motherfucker, help me. But he's like, he sits back and he's like, no, you left me to die last night, whatever. And he's like, look, if I help you, will you promise to take me on all of your journeys? And he's like, yeah, sure, whatever. Get me the fuck out of here. So The Rock is basically stuck in the sand. Here come all these massive fire ants, like that big.
The
not
best
Orange
CGI you've ever seen.
Oh, not Orange Cassidy fire ants, brother. We're talking, these big ones here. So then the horse thief has like this fucking like wine gimmick that he's drinking, takes a sip, blowtorch, fire
Gene
all
Simmons.
over the place. Oh, like Gene Simmons fucking rocking out with Kiss in the high hills, brother.
Yes, sir.
You know how it is. So then he saves The Rock. And it's like, oh, well, what now? So The Rock is like, look, I'm going to Memnon's kingdom. I'm going to avenge my brother's death. And the guy's like, okay, well, I guess I'm coming with you. And then all of a sudden it turns into a slapstick comedy movie because he's like, this ain't nice, camel. By the way, I'm not trying to do an offensive voice. That's literally the voice that this guy uses in the movie. That's a nice camel. Not much room up here. Scoot up, please. Oh. And he like falls off the camel. It's just he's the comic relief of the movie, brother. He's the comic relief. You got to have someone like that. Back in the kingdom, the sorceress is doing sorceress things and tells Memnon that there is going to be a victory. The sorceress clearly hates Memnon, and it is here that we find out very subtly that if the sorceress has sex, she loses her powers. Yes. And the way they do it is very subtle because it's like, and as a kid, I didn't understand what it meant, and I had to have it explained to me. But he's like, and I will have my kingdom and I will have you in my bed. And then she's like, but if I'm in your bed, then that means that I lose my power. And it's like, oh, that means that if he fucks her, she loses her power. The Rock and his sidekick arrive at Gomorrah, which is a real life city from this time period, which is where everything takes place. He's like, there's no way we can get into the city. So The Rock punches him in the face yet again, puts him on the back of his camel, goes up to the city gates, and he's like, hey, I hear there's a bounty on this horse thief's head. Can I come in? And they're like, yeah, sure. Very smart by The Rock there. He then sits the guy down at a counter, and he gets him a drink, and he's like talking up. He's like, yeah, I'll be right here whenever you're done. And then drops
watch my camel.
He's like, just watch my camel, be all good. He then drops my as a kid, this line tickled me so much, and I do not know why. He looks at him and he goes, the guy sitting next to him, and he goes, how's the kebab? I don't know why. I loved that as a kid. So The Rock is kind of walking through the city market. He's getting the finest swords in the world, my friend. And then it's like, oh, here's a brothel. Let me go in here. It's like, oh, we can help you out, Rock. They actually say that. There's like, oh, Dwayne, come in here. And then he gets tricked by some kids and loses his rubies. Basically, they come up and he's like, Mister, we can give you a guide through the city, Mister. And it's like, what a stereotypical way to make me care about this kid. Give him the Gawi G, Mister. Give him that voice, that stereotypical voice. Yeah, a little rascal voice. Yes, that's a very good way to put it. He's like, you need to go through Gomorrah, Mister. And then he cuts the thing of rupees. Oh, they're running around. Oh, he finally chases them. He finds the kid that has it. He's hiding in a pot. And then he's like, oh, I got my bag of rupees, but there's one missing, and it's in the kid's mouth. And he tells him, so do you want to earn this one? So then the kid takes him into Memnon's castle. They're in the castle. They all of a sudden see guards, and The Rock is like, oh, he's ready. He pulls out his sword, and he's like, all right, I'll kill half. You kill half. And the kid's like, huh? And then he's like, fine, I'll kill them all. And he's like, well, maybe we don't have to kill anybody.
We get to go around.
Go around them, brother. They end up inside this the scientist lab, a workshop, if you will. And he's looking around at all these inventions, and he's like, oh, this is cool. What's this? And then it's like, this is magic powder. Magic powder. Yeah, from China. Magic powder. And it's like, yes, it's from China. It's like, it will do great things. It's gunpowder.
Did the fucking workshop guy remind you of Captain Lou Albano, though?
I thought it was, to be honest with you. I thought that maybe it could have been Captain Lou Albano. Yeah, so basically he's like, oh yeah, this is magic powder. This shit's fucking cool. It's going to move mountains one day. I just got to figure out what how to fucking perfect it, you know? And then he tells him, he's like, all right, so where can I find Memnon? And he's like, probably in the training courtyard. So then, you know, we see him in the training courtyard. Memnon's doing, you know, all this trial shit. Rock's climbing up a ladder, looks at the kid, throws the ruby to the kid. Here you go, kid. Go get you a popsicle or something. I'm sure it's hot out there. The Rock is perched up. And he's like, yeah, motherfucker. He's got Memnon in his fucking sights with his bow. But then all of a sudden you hear, oh no, let me go, let me go. The guards found the kid with his ruby and they're about to cut the kid's hand off. And he's like, well, you know what they're going to do whenever, you know, you steal something. You know what the penalty is. So the guards take the kid over and they're getting ready to cut his hand off. And the Rock is like, oh my God, Memnon's guard is down, but this kid's about to lose his hand. But Memnon's guard is down. But the kid's about to lose his hand.
Arrow beforehand.
Yes, that's what they're saying, is that Memnon caught an arrow. So it's like clearly, if he knows that an arrow is coming, then he's going to die. So this is my opportunity, motherfucker. Like, I know that he's right here. And like, this would be but this kid's about to lose his hand. So here's what fucking happens. The axe is drawn back. The Rock looses the arrow, knocks the axe out of the guard's hand. And it's like, oh, he saves the kid's life. Here's my major flaw with this fucking movie. Why wouldn't he just kill Memnon? In the time that it took him to hesitate, they had plenty of time to set up and get this kid and whatever. Meanwhile, Memnon's just sitting back, eating grapes, drinking wine. And it's like, oh, but I'm hesitating. I'm hesitating. If he wouldn't have hesitated, he could have just killed Memnon. And I guarantee that they would have fucked off that kid. They wouldn't have cared about that kid. Do you think it's like, oh, our fucking king just got killed, but we still got to cut this kid's hand off? No. Stupid. Dumbest scene in this entire goddamn movie.
Well.
Oh, are we getting there?
We're getting there.
So the Rock is running from all the guards. He finds himself back into the lab and he's like, how do I get out of here? And the guy's like, through that door. And he's like, well, okay, whatever. Oh my God, it's a catapult. And then it's like, yeah, it was meant to be for transportation, but I couldn't quite stick the landing on it. So the Rock jumps into the catapult. Boom, ba-doom, sends him flying. Oh my God. And where does he land? But conveniently in a tent full of women. And they are just like, oh my God, it's a man. And they're all gathering him and they're all just like loving all over him. And
we haven't seen a man in so long.
I looked at the screen when this happened and went, oh, fuck you. The Rock looks at the camera, looks
Fourth
right
wall,
at the
baby.
camera.
Fourth wall.
And does the people's eyebrow. And it's like,
there it
terrible,
is.
Terrible. So then basically what's going on here is the women are so we cut back to the guy in the lab and they're like checking him and they're like, did you help him escape? And he's like, no, I didn't do shit, bro. And it's like, okay, well, if we find out that you did escape, then we will kill you. So then you cut back. The women are slowly taking off the Rock's weapons. This is very smart. They're seducing him, taking off the weapons. About that time, here come guards. He reaches, oh, fuck, I don't have any goddamn weapons. So the Rock gets this big gong and he's rolling behind the gong and he's being chased or whatever. Gets into a room and he's cornered, jumps out a window, lands on a canopy, falls. The guard is like, well, go after him, pushes two guards off this fucking out of this window, and they just fucking fall to their deaths. So It's like, what did you think was going to happen here? So the Rock lands in yet another room, and wouldn't you know it, it's the sorceress's bathroom. The attendants run away, and they're like, oh my God. And he's looking at her, and he's like, I'm taking you. And he's like, why did you save me? And she's like, oh, whatever, you know. And then about that time, the guards know that, oh, he's in here, motherfucker. He's in here. So then the Rock grabs the sorceress, jumps in the tub, drains out of the tub, and they go through.
That was the biggest tub drain I've ever seen to fit 2 humans through it.
Yeah. They go through the sewer system. And then meanwhile, the city is going on lockdown. The sidekick is like, oh, fuck, Matthias is dead. This isn't good. So he takes the camel and he fucking dipsets. Meanwhile, we cut to a kid who is standing at a wishing well. He has 1 piece of silver and he throws it in. About that time, here comes the sorceress, butt-ass naked. He's like, oh, this is so cool.
It's like,
good. Oh, the gods are, yeah. He goes, gods be praised. That's what he says. And it's like, oh my God. So then Matthias covers her up and he's like, look, we're getting the fuck out of here. So he kidnaps her out of the city. They are now out of the city. The sidekick is trying to drag the camel, but here comes the Rock and he's like, oh, Matthias, I knew you would make it. And it's like, who's this? And it's like, oh, this is Memnon's sorceress. And he's like, oh, fuck, that's not good. So where are we going? It's like, oh, we're going to the Valley of the Dead. And then meanwhile, back in the castle, Memnon is he is crashing out, dude. He's pissed off. He's like, we're going to find this motherfucker and give him this arrow. And it's a poison arrow. So it's like, you find this motherfucker.
What's the poison with, though, Dickie Wabash?
A scorpion.
Oh, dun, dun, dun.
Da, da, da! It's almost as if he's the Scorpion King.
Not yet.
Not yet, but he will be. They arrive into the Valley of the Dead, and The Rock gives one of the most cliched badass lines ever. He's like, so where are we? Home. Oh my God, it's so cool. So they're
in for an Undertaker cameo at this point.
Yeah, agreed.
How are you going to have a WWE film without The Undertaker at the place called the Valley of the Dead?
Very easily. They did it right here, and it's called the Scorpion King. It's called the Scorpion
Fucking
King.
Horrible.
Love it. Love it.
Could you imagine the pop?
Yeah. It's like, oh, fuck. They arrive in the Valley of the Dead, and they sleep at night. And this is the part I was mentioning earlier, where you can tell it's filtered to look like that it's nighttime. But why didn't you just fucking film at nighttime, my guy? So the sorceress tries to leave. Matthias is like, no, we ain't doing that. He's like, why'd you...
He had her tied up.
Yeah, he's like, why did you save me? Because we're wondering that. And she's like, look, you think I want to be with Memnon? I don't want to fucking be with Memnon. And I have a feeling that you're the only motherfucker that can save me from Memnon. And she says those words exactly. That's exactly how she delivers the line. You're the only motherfucker that can save me from
Plagiarism, Dickie. You're going to get sued.
Probably. So he's like, okay, fine. I helped you escape, so let's go. So the next day, Matthias realizes that they're being trailed by Memnon's people. And then he's like, all right, you two, you stay here. Hide under this blanket. There's a big sandstorm coming. And it's like, no, there isn't. Everything's clear as fuck right now. But he knows the desert. So then the people are about to fucking attack. They see the Scorpion King, and he's not Scorpion King yet. Sorry, he's Matthias, and he's standing there, and he's ready to take these motherfuckers out. Behind him,
trusty camel.
Here comes this big sandstorm, and then he just starts mowing motherfuckers down inside this sandstorm. And this is
a fucking 50 Shades of Grey leather mask.
This is the most badass scene in this entire movie, and I defy anyone to say that it's not, because he's just mowing through motherfuckers, and they're like, oh my God. So the main general is like, oh, there's a cave. Let's go into this cave. And then they're trying to hide, and then
at this point, Stone Cold pops out and goes,
So they're inside this cave. 2 of them died of quicksand, which as a kid, did you think that quicksand was was more dangerous than you actually thought?
Yes.
I thought there was like thousands of people dying every year from quicksand.
Yeah, especially from the Aladdin game and the Lode Runner games on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, 100%.
But nonetheless, the quicksand was eating people, but it would not eat the rocks on top of the quicksand.
Yeah, so there's rocks on top of the quicksand, and it's like, oh, jump across the rocks and don't fall into the quicksand. You know what I mean? So then they're inside this dark cave.
Egyptian logic is weird.
I know, dude.
This is the most Warner Brothers ass movie.
Well, this was Universal that made this movie.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's like a fucking Saturday morning cartoon at this point.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, so basically they're in this cave and the Rock just starts mowing through motherfuckers. Like, there's the badass scene of him running and it's like swoosh, 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 swoosh. It's like, oh my god, I'm fucking cut down and I'm dead. He takes out the final guy, and as he's dying, he pulls out the poison arrow and he stabs the Rock with it. And the Rock's selling in this movie is second to none. So a few hours later, the sandstorm has subsided. The Rock stands up in that badass slow-mo scene that we were talking about in the very beginning, but then he falls because, he's poisoned. He's fucked. So that night at camp, the horse thief is like, I don't know what we do to save him. Do you know what we do to save him? And she's like, I'll try to figure something out here. So basically, she straddles on top of the Rock and like way more sexual tension than needs to happen. I don't understand. Sucks the poison like through his mouth, and she's like, I will save him, but the blood of the scorpion will forever be in his veins. It's like, oh fuck.
It's happening.
The next morning, Memnon is not so another thing, the Rock, the next morning he wakes up and the Rock is like, hey, I'm cool. Let me send this fucking falcon back to Memnon. So then he sends like a token of one of his guards back to Memnon so that Memnon knows I killed your fucking people. You understand me, motherfucker? So then Memnon is not happy about this. And like people within the camp are like, hey, the sorceress is gone, right? But Memnon like kayfabes it. And he's like, no, she's here. She's here. Matter of fact, we're going to have a big feast tonight. And it's like, oh, fuck, that's going to be cool. And he's like, you're goddamn right it is. So we're going to feast till dawn, motherfuckers.
And then we're moving the war up a day.
Exactly, because they want to win this, you know? So back in the desert, the Rock and Company, they find the scientist of all people, because during the escape from the city, I forgot to mention, they realized that the scientist helped the Rock escape. So they're like, you motherfucker, we're going to get you. So he escapes out. And he's like, I found saltpeter. So like that means that that's because that's what you do with gunpowder. You mix gunpowder and saltpeter and it fucking explodes. And he's like, I fucking found it. This is so cool.
The desert's full of it.
Yeah, y'all have any water? So then all of a sudden they found an oasis and they're all fucking drinking from the water. And then it's like the most unnecessary line in this entire movie, because he's like, this is breathtaking. It's like, it's almost as if the limestone is acting as a natural filter. And it's like, why is that germane to what we're doing here?
That's your line from that scene?
It's so weird. It's
My
so
line
weird.
from that scene is the sorceress. Is this safe to drink? And then at this time, the sidekick fucking jumps in the creek, and the Rock looks at her and goes, "Not anymore."
There we go. He's the comic relief of this movie, brother. So about that time, they get fucking ambushed, and it's like, oh fuck! Guess who the people are that captured us? It's Michael Clark Duncan's people. He doesn't like the Rock and he wants to kill him. So then they just start fighting. This is a dope fight. This is actually a really cool one-on-one fight. Michael Clark Duncan and the Rock are just fucking each other up, and it's just like, oh, whatever. Finally, the Rock gets the better of Michael Clark Duncan. And he's like, do you yield? And he's like, never. And then he goes, okay, well, fine, then you're a fool, and Memnon's going to kill all of you guys. Like, just so you know, Memnon is super fucking powerful, as we've established. He's going to kill everyone. We got to do something about this. So then Michael Clark Duncan stands up and he goes, will you stand alone against the fury of his armies? And the Rock, yes.
I stand alone.
Do. It's almost as if that's why they tied it in, because he stood alone against the armies of Memnon, brother.
Holy shit! Look at us mathing.
So then that night, everything's fine. Everything's cool now. Everything is just so great. They're having a party. Everyone's hanging out. The fucking horse thief and the scientist, which sounds like a fucking vaudeville act. The horse thief and the scientist. They're arm wrestling with like these women warriors, and it's like, I let her win, and like the sorceress is having a good time. This little kid comes up and offers her a date. She touches him, and then she has a vision of Memnon is going to kill all these motherfuckers. Like, he is going to find them at this sanctuary and kill all of them. And she's like, oh, fuck, what do we do? So then she goes to the Rock's tent and fucks him, basically. They kind of have a little bit. Yeah, they kind of have a little bit of a back and forth. The Rock fucks her, which means that her powers, they're Dunsky, brother. Allegedly. They are out. They are gone. There's no alleged to it, motherfucker. They are gone.
Allegedly.
So why are you saying allegedly? They are.
No, at the end of the movie, she reveals that her mother just made that story up to protect her.
Did I miss that?
Yeah. When he asked her at the end of the movie if there's going to be this is going to be the last war, brother. Where the fuck have you been?
I never picked up on that.
Yeah, brother.
Oh my God. Wow. So then that makes the fucking scene with Memnon later fucking make. Okay, let's go on here. So she's like, oh, it's because of me that Memnon and all of them are going to invade this camp. So I got to leave. I'm going to go to the castle. I'm going to try to squash all of this. So she steals the Rock's camel and leaves. About that time, the Rock wakes up and he's like, all right, I'm fucking going. I'm going to chase after her. I'm going to Gamora. I'm going to take them all out. But then Michael Clark Duncan is like, you know what? We'll go fight with you. And it's like, cool. Why are we doing this now? Like, why are we doing this now? If we would have just agreed with each other in the very fucking beginning, then it would have made this whole thing smooth, because you could have attacked the guards unawares. They're fucking drinking, partying, having a good fucking time. You could have just attacked them. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. So at Memnon's feast, the guy is like, motherfucker, listen, where's the sorceress? We have not seen her. About that time, the sorceress shows up, and Memnon is like, oh, fuck, okay, this is pretty fucking cool. So then Memnon kills the guy because he's like, don't doubt me, motherfucker. That's literally the line that he says. And then he's like, go to my chamber. And she's like, okay, I'll be there. So then at the main gate, the sidekick has got this big wagon. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing here? And it's like, oh, I've got stuff for the party here. This was Prince Temet's request, or whatever his fucking name is. The guy, Tekmet, is his name. The one guy. I'm still trying to find the goddamn name of the fucking Arpit. Arpit is his name. Arpid, rather, not it's Arpid. Arpid. They never say that in the movie.
Armpit, gotcha.
Armpit, yeah. So Armpit is there, and he's like, "Oh, this is Prince Temet's request, or whatever his name is." And then they open it up, and it's like all the female warriors. They're like all gussied up, and they're like, "Oh, we're all beautiful." All but one wearing a mask, and the guy's like, "Let me see that pretty face." Boom, motherfucker! It's Michael Clark Duncan. Attacks him, and it's like, "Oh, time to lay siege on this castle." You know what I mean? Meanwhile, the Rock is scaling the tower, taking out motherfuckers, whatever. So back in the chamber, Memnon, yes.
This is the second scene in this movie where the director was like, let's just have the Rock climb for 2 minutes straight, because I want to fucking see it.
That's actually that's actually a really good way to put it. So I kind of got a little bit ahead of myself. This is where Memnon tells the sorceress to go back to his chambers. He knows something is up. He then kills the guy like, don't doubt me, motherfucker. Again, that's the line that he says. The Rock and everyone lead the assault on the castle as Memnon and the sorceress are in the chambers. He has a test for her to see if she still has the powers. He puts out some pots and puts some snakes in the pots. Cobras, specifically. Cobra is inside of the pot right now. Michael Clark Duncan and the scientists start planting some explosives while Memnon tests the sorceress. She gets lucky on the first pot. There's no cobra in there. And he's like, okay, one pot left now.
But I sense fear.
I do. Yeah. He's like, you may not sense anything, but I sense something. Fear. She reaches into another pot and pulls out a snake, and she's like holding the cobra. It's like, oh fuck. And then meanwhile, she sees here comes the Rock. He fucking jumps down, and then it's on like Donkey Kong in this motherfucker. Him and Memnon start fucking fighting. This makes no sense, because if they would have just worked together, they could have come up with a better assault on this castle. This whole thing just seems like pure shithouse luck, because it's like, it's just too fucking obvious that it's like, oh, the Rock just stumbles into the chamber while the princess is in the middle of doing this. Fuck you. You know what I mean? So shit's going south, you know, major back and forths are going on. There's just big fights going all over the place. Everything is popping off right now, motherfucker. Michael Clark Duncan ends up in the main chamber. Memnon runs away. Him and the Rock start taking out guards. And one of the most like rewarding parts of this whole movie is that Michael Clark Duncan gets to kill the guy that killed the father, that betrayed them, that caused all of this. Meanwhile, main courtyard.
Your father.
Meanwhile, there was a really badass scene where the Rock jumps through fire, like motherfucker runs and slow. It's all in slow-mo, brother. It's all got to be in slow-mo because we got to build the anticipation. You know what I mean?
Got that superhero landing in too.
Out in the courtyard.
Yeah,
he makes the superhero landing. And then him and Memnon are back at it. They're fucking going at it. The Rock does the nip up. It was so fun. I popped bigger than dog shit to see this. As they're fighting, here comes in a guard. He shoots the Rock in the back with an arrow. It's the same cell that he had from earlier.
They just used the same clip from earlier.
Sound like a same soundbite, brother, and filter. Memnon is like up at the top, and then it's like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? The Rock pulls out the arrow and he draws it back. Meanwhile, down in the catacombs, fucking Armpit and the scientist, they've been captured by guards, and Armpit is like, gotta do it. So he grabs the torch, lights the fucking gunpowder on fire, big explosion. The Rock looses the arrow. Catch this. Hits Memnon. Memnon goes flying off the top of the fucking castle.
Not 45 feet, though.
Not 45 feet. Oh, falling down. Big explosion. Falls through it. And it's like, oh, fuck. We fucking killed him. Everyone is happy. So here comes the Rock at the top of the thing, and he's got the sorceress at his side, and he holds up the bow, and all the guards bow before their new king because he killed the king. So now he is the new king naturally. He is the Scorpion King. Da, da, da. So afterwards, we see everyone is leaving, and he's talking to Michael Clark Duncan, and he calls him the Scorpion King. And it's like, he said it. He said it. This is the part where I completely missed that this is what the sorceress was trying to say to him. I didn't realize that it was all a work. I thought
brother.
I thought what she meant by it was that it didn't matter because they all ended up losing their powers regardless, because they just always ended up having sex. But wow. That makes me rethink this entire fucking movie. Crazy talk. So that does it.
We left a part out of the movie, though.
What part did we forget?
The fact that this other dude has been grooming her since she was a child.
Oh yeah, that's basically what Memnon had been doing. Like he captured her, and he was like, I'm gonna use your fucking powers, and then once I'm the king, you're gonna wife you, is basically what he's saying, because his whole idea is that it's like, at that point I don't need your powers. Fuck you. So then roll credits, I Stand Alone by Godsmack is blaring through the speakers, and that is the Scorpion King. All right, Madrox, give me your final thoughts on this movie, and then give me a ranking.
Oh, man. So I'm going to have to go with a CGI nightmare. For the movies we watch, this one's got to go in first place as of right now.
Well, I mean, technically it kind of has to. It absolutely has to, because this is really the only one. On the scale of 5, what do you give it?
I'm gonna give it a 2.5.
Really? Okay, that's not terrible. That's
It's not
terrible.
terrible. It's a good medium, especially for the first one in the series we're doing. Could have been better. Could have been worse. Had its plot holes. When you look back at it when you're older and you find out that it's all about grooming and everything, it makes you look at the movie different.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good way to put it.
This movie is not politically correct in today's day and age at all. It did not age well.
I think we're going to find that a lot of these movies are going to be like that. I am going to be a little different here. I'm going to give it a 2.6. I'm going to give it a 2.6. It's still right in the middle, but it's just edged out a little bit by a 2.5. I like this movie. I think you just got to take this movie for what it is. And yeah. I think that that's going to happen a lot with a lot of these movies that we watch, is that we just got to understand, like, look, these by no means are fucking great movies.
No.
You know, we're not here watching Goodfellas. We're not here watching this. We're not here watching that. So yeah, Michael Madrox said it by default. I am now going to put it on screen. Here are the Big Stupid Popcorn rankings. Coming in at number 1 is The Scorpion King, because there's no other movie that we've watched yet. So by default, this is
greatest movie of all time.
I mean, in Big Stupid Popcorn, it is. Now let's rank the hero. Coming in by default, we've got Matthias coming in at number 1. This was a fun movie, though. This was a good popcorn movie. And as I said, that's what I think a lot of these movies are going to be, right? These are just going to be, look, it is what it is, brother. These aren't
This movie screamed 2000s entertainment value.
Yes, absolutely. It screamed early 2000s action movie. And
at the cusp of CGI starting to take off.
Yes.
The no blood violence, like, this is 2000s in a nutshell.
Oh, perfectly 2000s in a nutshell. So yeah, man, I enjoyed it. I know what it was, though. It was just a fun little popcorn flick. You know what I mean? So, well, Madrox, that's going to do it for the first episode of Big Stupid Popcorn. What do you say we leave the people with a preview of what the next movie is going to be that we watch?
No.
You know, this was The Rock's debut, his lead role debut. What do you say we go to another wrestler and their lead role debut? That's right. I'm talking about
Randy
the Marine. Randy Orton. No, the Marine, starring John Cena, will be coming next month to the $10 tier. Look forward to that one. We are going to watch the movie. We're going to review it, and then we are going to rank it against The Scorpion King. If you have thoughts about The Scorpion King, let us know down in the comments of this post, whether it be the audio version or the video version. Definitely let us know what you think. We would love to hear it.
We'd love to hear what you think about the new format too, guys.
Yeah, let us know what you think of this new show.
Do you like this? Should we go back to the watch along? Let us know.
Yeah. And if, here's the thing. You're on the $10 tier, Creative Control. If you think there's a movie that we should watch, let us know. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. So yeah, Scorpion King, episode number 1. I really enjoyed it. It was fun for what it was, and I think that's the one thing that we're going to take away from the Scorpion King, is that it's not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination, but it's good for what it was.
It's still better than anything Hulk Hogan ever did.
Now, hold on, dude. We're going to be getting it. We're going to be getting into Hulk Hogan movies at some point.
God.
Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
3 Ninjas, brother.
Oof. So, all right, man. We're going to go ahead and hop off here. Thank you to those of you that watch this. You're here on the Patreon, you're here on the $10 tier. It's because of you guys that we get to do this. Strictly because of you guys that we are afforded this ability to get to do this. We appreciate it so much. So for Michael Madrox, I have been Dickie Wabash, and we will see you down the road on some form of content.